Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I have an Empties video and I have body care, skincare, makeup and some hair care. But if you're new here, and you're probably new here because I'm new here, my name is Vidhi and I like talking about all things beauty. I hope you like and subscribe. So before I start in, I have oily combination skin. That's something to keep in mind as I go through some of my choices. So first up, I have the Aino Calm and Restore Oat Gel Moisturizer. This is a gel-based moisturizer and this one actually impressed me quite a bit by how moisturizing it was. Usually gel creams are not quite as moisturizing and they just end up having a little bit of hydration and that's it. But this was actually quite substantial. Not necessarily enough for the winter, but definitely good enough for those in between transitional months where it's not too cold or too dry just yet, but it's, starting to set in. I'd probably repurchase this again once we get into the transitional months. Next up, I have the Dr. Jart Ceramidin cream. This is a favorite in my household. Both me and my husband love this. If I had to pick one moisturizer for the rest of my life, it would probably be a tough call between this and a Jordan Samuel Skin Moisturizer that I really love. But this is sort of the perfect wintertime moisturizer. It's just like a hug for your skin. So nice and moisturizing that you basically don't need anything else after. We already have another one that's open and being used. Next up, I have the Bioderma Atoderm cream. Now, this is actually a very popular cream. I know a lot of people really like this, especially for the moisture that it gives for dry skin. And I do agree that it was very moisturizing. I did enjoy using it, but I found it quite boring, if I may say so. I did use it up in a long haul flight when we were traveling from India to Canada. And it was quite useful then. It gave me good barrier protection, but I don't think I will be repurchasing this in the bigger size just because I have other moisturizers in this category that I enjoy a little bit more. Then I have the Dew Skin Deliverance Trinity Serum. This one I did a bit of an extended review on in my 2023 favorites on Instagram, which by the way, I will link down below. I enjoyed this. This was a surprise for me. Initially, when I was using it, I didn't really see any major results out of this. It was a nice hydrating serum, so it was fine, but nothing, out of this world. But it was really when my barrier was compromised because of using a retinol too quickly, when I found out that this is actually an amazing soothing and calming serum. I used this and I think within a matter of 10 or 15 minutes, the redness in my skin had subsided substantially. And just using this every day for 2 or 3 days, along with, yes, of course, a couple other moisturizers, my skin barrier was perfectly healed again. So yes, I will be repurchasing this. Unfortunately, I believe it's a little difficult to get in Canada because it does contain CBD in it, which in Canada is considered a drug, and hence there are added regulations. But maybe when I travel to the US, I will try to get my hands on this thing that actually wraps up all the skincare. Okay, now the last 2 skincare products that I have are actually products that, as far as I know, are only available in India. It feels nice to say that because usually it's the other way around and it can be quite difficult to get some skincare products or even makeup products in India. But these are from 2 Indian brands that have been doing so well in the Indian market, and they've been coming out with some really amazing products. So I'm really excited to share them with you. First up is the Dr. Shades Cantella and Niacinamide sunscreen. This is sort of the more silicone heavy textured type of sunscreen. I don't love this one particularly, and Dr. Shades I believe has 4 variants of their sunscreen, so I don't love this variant. But I love their Haldi and Hyaluronic variant. So while I won't be repurchasing this, I will likely get my hands on the Haldi and Hyaluronic sunscreen when I go back. This, on the other hand, like I mentioned, is more silicone rich, more meant for oily skin. And while I do have oily skin, I just don't enjoy that texture because it just feels like there's something on my skin all day long, and I don't enjoy that feeling. I gravitate more towards gel cream type sunscreens. Next, I have the Dot and Key Sunscreen. This is the watermelon cooling sunscreen, and I believe they have a couple other variants of this range. All of the sunscreens that I have tried from this range are absolutely stunning. They remind me so much of my favorite Korean sunscreens that I reach for them all the time. The only problem with this I found was that the packaging, because the tube is a little bit stiff, it's a little hard to squeeze out the product. But apart from that, honestly, I did not have any other complaints, and I absolutely loved the texture and the finish. It dries down quickly, it doesn't get too oily through the day. Yeah, and it just ticked all the boxes for me. I will definitely try to get my hands on this when I travel back to India. So for makeup, I have the Dior Skin Forever Undercover Concealer. This concealer, I believe, was discontinued a couple years ago, and I have this tube for longer than I would like to admit. I really enjoyed this concealer. This was my first ever concealer, and I absolutely loved it. It was light under the eyes with medium coverage, I would say, not quite full coverage. It settled down to sort of a natural finish, not a matte finish, and that's why I really enjoyed it. It looked really light under my eyes, and that's the best way I can describe it. I actually enjoyed this not just under my eyes, probably even all over my skin, just as a little bit of coverage wherever I need it. I replaced this with the newer Dior concealers, and I will pop that in over here. Now, while I love this concealer, I have to say it's not quite the same as this one. I find that the newer concealers are just a little bit more heavier than what I like, and I also think that I might have the wrong shade in this newer concealer, and that's sort of biasing my view. So I will likely be on the lookout for a new concealer this year. So if you all have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Next, moving on to body care. First up, I have the Method body wash. This is the coconut variant, and both me and my husband love this one. We love it enough that we have bought 6 more bottles of this off Amazon, and we have it waiting in storage for us. It smells nice and coconutty, a very subtle, fresh scent. So if you like coconut scents, definitely check this one out. Then I have the Bioderma Atoderm shower oil. This, contrary to popular opinion, I actually did not enjoy. It was fine. It's a shower gel that's meant to sort of replace your shower gels. And to be honest, if I were to compare these two, I did not find that the Bioderma one was more nourishing or hydrating in any way. I just found that these two compared very similarly, and since this one is much cheaper, I'd just much rather go for this. Also, another thing is that this one doesn't have much of a scent, and I do prefer my bath products to be a little scented, so I found this just a little bit boring. I don't know what else to say. Then I have the Ceramidin body lotion. Now this one I was actually really impressed with. I got this in sort of a gift set last year together, these two, and basically I wanted to purchase this, and I was getting this at the price of the Ceramidin cream, and that's the reason how I ended up purchasing it. And I started to use it, and I was actually quite surprised to find that this was a nice light lotion, but yet it was moisturizing. Now, I don't use too much of body lotion. I don't enjoy it if it's too sticky, and that's the reason I only end up using body lotion 2 or 3 times a week. But this one made me want to use it more often because it did dry down fairly quickly and it wasn't as sticky. With that, of course, I will also say that it's a lotion, so it's not like, uber moisturizing or anything. It's lightly moisturizing, but it was good enough for me. But if you're looking into something, that's super moisturizing, if you have super dry skin, maybe look for something else. Then I have the Batiste dry shampoo. This is an excellent dry shampoo. I already have sort of a 3-pack from Costco waiting to go to start using. I really enjoyed using this dry shampoo. I do find that it does extend my wash days by at least 2 or 3 days whenever needed. I try not to extend it by that much, but you know, we all get busy and then there are days that we just need a little bit of extra help. So that's when this comes quite in handy. I don't mind the scent either. It's quite nice. It's mild and pleasant. This can look a tad powdery if you end up using too much. So if you accidentally use too much, it can look a little powdery. So just be wary of that. Just start a little bit slowly. But apart from that, it does the job and it's cheap. So I don't have any complaints. But I wouldn't mind some suggestions of some new dry shampoos that you all have tried. Finally, I have the Aveda Botanical Repair Shampoo and Conditioner, which I had got some time ago as in a trial size. Now, these two actually really surprised me. I thought they would be like super heavy and moisturizing, you know, for thick hair. And I actually do have thick hair. You probably can't tell right now, but my hair are super curly, but they've been treated and that's the reason why they're straight. So while I knew that I expected that this would be good for curly hair, I wasn't sure how it would work for my straight hair. But I was actually super impressed with these. The shampoo was fine. It's a normal shampoo, not stripping, good lather. It was really the conditioner that impressed me. While it was thoroughly moisturizing, it wasn't heavy and it didn't weigh my hair down. So I really liked that aspect of this, and I would recommend this even if you have naturally straight hair or not very thick hair. What I wouldn't recommend though is the mask variant of the Botanical Repair line, because that can be quite heavy and that is likely better suited for curly and thick hair. With that wraps up my first ever YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it was informative for you. Let me know if there are some specific videos that you would like to see on here and I'd be happy to do them.